There's something a lot of people have been thinking lately. Wouldn't it be nice if things could just go back to normal? Back to when life felt a little simpler. More predictable, less expensive, less uncertain, a normal life. But there's a problem with that idea. Not just the fact that time only moves forward. The real problem is that normal life comes with a cost. And it's a cost that most people don't notice until years later. The hidden price of stability. Most stable careers offer something valuable: predictability. You know roughly what you'll earn next month. You know your responsibilities, you know your routine, and that stability creates peace of mind. But it also creates something else. A ceiling. Income increases, but slowly. Raises follow schedules. Promotions take time. And many of the decisions that affect your career sit above you. The trade-off is simple. You exchange volatility for predictability, but you also exchange speed. Financial progress becomes steady, but limited. Effort goes in. Small increases come out over time. When income becomes predictable, spending does too. Once income becomes stable, expenses tend to stabilise as well. Rent or a mortgage settles in. Subscriptions quietly stack up. Lifestyle gradually adjusts to match the certainty of your salary. Nothing extreme happens, but something subtle does. The system begins to feel safe. And when something feels safe, people start protecting it. Risk begins to feel irresponsible. Changing careers feels dangerous. Investing aggressively feels uncomfortable when there's something stable to lose. Over time, stability trains you to defend what you have, instead of building something larger, where most wealth actually comes from. Here's the interesting part. Most wealth throughout history hasn't been built during calm periods. It tends to appear during moments of change, new technologies, new industries, new markets, new opportunities. These moments reward people who are willing to step outside predictable paths and tolerate uncertainty long enough for momentum to build. But when your life is structured entirely around stability, stepping into those moments becomes harder. The job works. The routine is comfortable. The downside of change feels immediate, while the upside feels distant and uncertain. So years pass, progress continues. But it stays small. The window. Most people don't notice. Early in your career, something important exists. Flexibility. Responsibilities are usually lower. Energy tends to be higher. And the cost of failure is smaller. Those years are often the best time for experimentation. Trying different paths, learning new skills, taking calculated risks. But if those years are spent only optimizing for safety, something changes later. Stability grows stronger, but flexibility shrinks. By the time people feel ready to take bigger risks, their ability to do so is often reduced. More responsibilities, higher fixed expenses, less tolerance for uncertainty. Why predictability reduces optionality? There's another side effect of predictability. It reduces optionality. Optionality simply means the ability to change direction, to move cities, start a business, switch industries, invest in an opportunity when it appears, or step away from something that no longer works. When income follows a fixed pattern, life slowly builds around that pattern. Long leases, long-term loans, subscriptions, social expectations. None of these are problems individually, but together they create weight, and weight makes change harder. The lifestyle machine. This leads to something people rarely talk about. Lifestyle tends to lock people in more than income does. When people think about financial pressure, they usually look at how much they earn. But what often matters more is the size of the lifestyle built around that income. Over time, life expands. A larger home, a better neighbourhood, a newer car, more conveniences. Each upgrade feels reasonable. You worked for it. You earned it. But the baseline cost of living quietly rises. Housing, insurance, utilities, subscriptions, travel, small conveniences. None of them seem extreme, but together they create a machine that requires constant income to maintain. And once that machine becomes expensive enough, experimentation becomes harder. Why ownership often comes late. Another hidden cost of the normal path is timing. In the early years, most people focus entirely on earning. Education, career stability, building credibility, investing and ownership often feel like something to prioritise later, when income is higher, when life is more settled. But time is the most powerful factor in wealth building. Ownership compounds. Investments grow, assets appreciate, and the earlier those processes begin, the more powerful they become. When ownership begins later, it often starts cautiously. Small contributions, safe decisions, long timelines. The effort is there, but the compounding window is smaller. And in investing, time is often more powerful than effort. Income versus ownership. There's also a structural difference between income and ownership. Income requires participation. You earn money by showing up, working, performing. Ownership works differently. Ownership allows you to benefit from growth, from systems expanding, from businesses scaling, from investments compounding. The earlier ownership begins, the more leverage it creates, and the longer it works without constant input. When comfort becomes resistance. Over time, stability produces comfort. Routine lowers stress. Predictability reduces anxiety. Life becomes smoother. But growth rarely feels smooth. Growth usually feels uncertain. It requires learning new skills. Entering unfamiliar environments. Taking risks without guaranteed outcomes. If someone has spent years optimizing their life for comfort, stepping into discomfort can feel far larger than it actually is. Opportunities get delayed, moves get postponed, projects get avoided, not because they're impossible, but because they disrupt something that currently works. Gradually, identity shifts, from builder to maintainer. The quiet trade-off. None of this means stability is wrong. Stability provides structure, it reduces stress, it protects against shocks. For many people, that's exactly what they want. The issue appears when stability becomes the only strategy, because stability protects what you have. But growth usually requires stepping outside of it. The real question isn't whether a normal life works. It often does. The question is whether you're comfortable with the limits it quietly places around your future. Because stability protects you from failure. Predictability protects you from chaos. Comfort protects you from stress. But those same protections can also quietly slow the rate at which your life expands. And recognizing that trade-off is the first step toward deciding what kind of future you actually want to build.